Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're really getting into a narrative that's, well, incredibly layered. It tackles some huge questions: identity, trauma, what it even means to protect someone. We're looking at the character known mostly as Zero, but also, for a time, as Roni. It's quite an arc. So our mission here is to unpack that journey. How does a kid who survives these, frankly, illegal government experiments get turned into a weapon? And then how does he find a glimpse of humanity, lose it, and then somehow finally choose his own path, choose to be a protector on his own terms?
It's about will versus conditioning.
Exactly. And you can't really grasp that final choice without understanding the absolute brutality of the start. It all begins with Project Genesis. And, calling it a research institute, that's putting it mildly. It was dehumanization, pure and simple. You had Scientist Prime, the sort of cold ideologue behind it all, pushing the evolution of these kids.
Right. And Commander Vault, the military muscle. Ruthless execution of the plan. The whole foundation was just horrific. Phase 1, they called it. They didn't just find these kids, they acquired them after executing their parents.
Like the father, IDE-47, just executed.
Yes, labeled assets, and then the children, like our Subject 13, were just taken, snatched for these experimental batches.
It's chilling. So his entire existence starts with that violence and deception. Fast forward 5 years, maybe.
Yeah, about that. Batch O2 children, 5 or 6 years old. Project Genesis implements the Jungle Protocol.
Which sounds ominous.
It was. They basically dumped 13 small children into this incredibly dense jungle. The objective, survive 7 days.
So training. That's tough.
It's culling, absolutely. The records are pretty clear. 12 of the 13 were confirmed killed in action. The jungle did their dirty work.
But Subject 13, he doesn't just survive.
No, he does something else entirely. He adapts in this really remarkable way.
It wasn't just about being tough, right? It was cognitive.
Precisely. He starts mimicking the jungle's top predator there, the jaguar, learning its stillness, its silence, moving without a sound, eating grubs, even breathing differently.
But the real shift, the thing that changes him fundamentally, happens when he finds that first family.
That's the pivot, yeah. Around age 6, he finds a lioness trapped in a hunter's pit. Something about her fear, the sources suggest, resonates with his own buried trauma.
So he doesn't just watch.
No, he acts. Uses vines, branches, figures out how to free her. It's ingenious. And the jungle, which was meant to kill him, instead gives him this connection. He's accepted by the Pride.
And that acceptance fuels something in him. By 11, he's not just with the Pride, he's their protector.
Absolutely. There's this account of a big rival lion challenging the Pride, and Subject 13, this 11-year-old boy, steps forward.
And lets out this roar.
A bone-chilling roar, the source calls it. And doesn't physically overpower the lion, but it projects this absolute dominance. It silences the rival. He becomes the feral king.
Forged by instinct, by loyalty, which is the total opposite of Vault and Prime's cold calculation.
Exactly. And ironically, that fierce loyalty is what gets him caught again. Vault hears reports the Lion Boy and leads a recapture mission.
Using the next batch of child soldiers.
Batch of 3, yeah.
Younger kids. Subject 13 defends his lioness, the cubs, with this terrifying feral rage. But eventually, the trank darts bring him down.
Vault recognizes him immediately.
Instantly. Subject 13. The jungle made him a protector, but now Genesis plans to weaponize that very instinct. So he's dragged back to the cold, sterile facility, and the first thing they do.
Confirmation. They need to be sure. Genomic sequencing. 99.997% match to the archives. He's the one. The sole survivor of Batch 2. Scientist Prime sees this not as failure, but as proof of concept success.
He declares him the originator.
And officially designates him Text 0, the baseline, the origin point for their perfect weapon. Then comes the neural conditioning. Intense stuff, designed to wipe the jungle and force obedience.
But even strapped down, barely 11 years old, that dominance doesn't just vanish.
Not a chance. He immediately locks on to the leader of Batch 03, this older kid, number 1.
13 years old.
Yeah. And Zero, from his cage, does something incredible. He shatters the reinforced plexiglass between them with a kick.
Just like that, a statement.
A massive statement. It's not just strength, it's pure rejection. Rejecting the cage, rejecting the designation. He's the alpha, deciding the terms.
So a fight breaks out.
He accepts the challenge, and it's brutal. Efficient. He catches number 1's ankle, breaks it, that sickening snap the source mentions.
Establishing the hierarchy, not with tech, but with primal force.
Exactly. He subdues the others with this terrifying economy of movement, and then the entire cohort kneels. They recognize him. They're king.
Wow, and this is where that symbol comes in, the text.
Precisely. The missions start. we see this montage. His lethality rating is off the charts, 98.7%. He's the perfect weapon they wanted, but he makes it personal. Every kill, every location, he carves that symbol. 0. It becomes his brand. A warning.
A mark of terror, basically.
Yeah.
But then something shifts again,
Yeah.
right? That protective instinct he learned in the jungle, it wasn't totally erased.
It resurfaces violently. Project Genesis gets hit, coordinated missile strike, total chaos.
Well-
0. Their prized weapon gets extraction orders.
It's get out, save himself.
Right. Standard procedure for a top asset. And he completely ignores it, disobeys.
What does he do?
He turns shepherd. Instead of escaping, he starts gathering the other children. Number 2, Maya, even the injured number 1, and some of the facility's own scientists, the medtechs.
He risks everything.
Okay.
Capture, death.
Everything to guide these people, his fellow victims, and even some non-combatant captors towards safety. The weapon chooses to protect.
And his final act there?
He goes back, runs into the burning core lab to save the last few trapped medtechs. Then a massive explosion engulfs him, throws him off a cliff into the sea below.
Genesis nearly got rid of their rogue element, but he proved them wrong.
In that moment, the man, or the potential for the man, was definitely visible beneath the weapon.
And that fall, it's almost like a baptism, right?
Yeah.
Leading to the next phase.
A second birth, absolutely. He washes ashore, battered, burned, found by Anand, a fisherman, and his wife Leela.
And this is completely different. Warmth, kindness, not the coldness of Genesis or the wildness of the jungle.
It's the foundation for Roni. Leela names him that after their own son who they lost. It's a chance for a fresh start, a blank slate.
And for a while, it works. He finds some peace.
A very fragile peace. He heals slowly. He struggles with basic things like speaking. But you see glimpses of empathy developing. There's this moment at the market.
Ah, the thugs bullying the old man.
Yes, and Roni tenses up. You can see 0 right there, ready to kill them. The instinct is overwhelming.
But he doesn't.
No. Leela urges him, pleads with him to just walk away. And he forces himself to. He chooses not to use legal violence. That choice. That's Roni. It proves that identity, however new, is real.
Which makes what happens next even more tragic.
Yeah.
That peace is just shattered.
Instantly. The same market thugs, they track them down. They want Anand and Leela's land. They get violent.
And one of them hits Leela.
Fatal mistake. The moment that happens, Roni vanishes. It's pure text again. The protector instinct kicks in, but it's the lethal conditioned version.
Not just a fight, you said. A relapse.
A complete feral relapse. The source descriptions are graphic. Lethal speed, terrifying efficiency, crushing throats, even reaching inside one thug's chest. He eradicates the threat to his pride, Anand and Leela.
But then comes the realization. He looks at them, at their terror.
He sees it. He understands that he is now the danger, that his violence, his past will inevitably destroy their peace. Genesis will eventually connect the dots from this kind of carnage.
So he has to leave. But before he does,
The ultimate message. He carves the tech symbol right into the dead thug's forehead.
a signal to vault. 0's back. Stay away from these people.
Exactly. He sacrifices his chosen family to protect them from himself. Disappears into the night. The weapon returns to save them from the weapon.
Which brings us closer to the present day in the narrative. 2 years pass.
Yeah. We find Roni, now in his early 20s. He's living in the city, trying to blend in, using his skills coding, apparently, but always looking over his shoulder, hyper-vigilant.
And he's trying to form a connection with Rhea.
Rhea, yeah. College boxing champion. He tries to appear normal, even clumsy around her, terrified of letting anyone see the 0 underneath.
But the past always catches up. Genesis isn't entirely gone.
Not at all. The remnants, and guess who's leading them?
Number 1.
Number 1. Now cybernetically enhanced, scarred, calling himself the Upgrade, and he uses Rhea as bait.
How?
The University Siege. They mark the location with text graffiti, a direct challenge, forcing Roni out of the shadows.
So Roni has to become 0 again to save her.
But this time, it's different. He's not alone. Maya, number 2, is there too.
She helps him.
Yes. She's disguised among hostages, turns on number 1. They fight together, this incredible lethal synchronicity. It shows that not all the survivors stayed loyal to Genesis or became monsters. They can choose.
And the final showdown. Roni versus number 1.
It's savage. They crash through a window onto a rooftop. Number 1 is still obsessed with the old hierarchy, wants them to rule together.
But Roni rejects it.
Completely. I'm not a king. I'm Roni, and I protect. That's the line. It's huge.
And then there's that moment after he defeats number 1. It's quite visceral.
Extremely. He executes number 1 by removing his heart and consuming it. A direct callback to his feral past, the lion's instinct.
But right after that primal act, he rejects the king title.
That's the synthesis. He's integrating the brutal necessity of the Jungle King, the Zero identity, with the chosen moral purpose of Roni. The violence serves the protection, not the dominance.
Which leads to that final scene.
Yeah.
The bridge.
The Stormy Bridge. The remaining survivors are their numbers 3 through 7. They kneel, waiting for orders from their king.
And he refuses their servitude.
Explicitly. He tells them, no more serving, no more commands. He gives them a new directive.
Become protectors.
Yes.
Huh.
Together, under a shared code that they choose. He transforms the tech symbol, that scar, that brand of their trauma, and Genesis's control.
Into a badge, a symbol of their unity, their shared purpose, defense.
He essentially took the weaponization and flipped it, turned it into a tool for conscious moral action, decided by them, not for them.
So that really completes the arc. Feral child, programmed weapon, the fragile Roni, the brutal Zero, finally integrating it all. Choosing to be Roni the protector, but using Zero's skills to do it, alongside others who get it.
It's a powerful statement, isn't it? Trauma, conditioning. They forged the weapon, sure, they leave scars. But the ultimate power, the story argues, is in choosing your purpose, shifting that drive, that instinct to protect.
From something primal, like saving the lioness,
to something deliberate. A moral code. He keeps Zero's lethality, but directs it with Roni's chosen heart.
It seems like Roni, or Zero, whatever you call him, he only found real peace, or at least a path forward, when he stopped fighting his own nature, accepted the duality, and crucially, when he shared that burden, that responsibility, with others who understood. Which leaves us with a pretty heavy thought, I think. What does it really mean when the violence that made you who you are, the violence you sometimes still need, is also the greatest threat to the peace you're trying to build? That tension between necessity and humanity. Maybe think on that until our next deep dive.